While all animals eat to survive, humans mostly eat to indulge. If you think you are rich enough, try this most expensive food in the world. Humans are the only animals in the world who can cook their meals, and trust humans to turn these survival fuels into fancy feasts. While not every one of us has the luxury to enjoy these feasts, we sure wish we could. This is why many food items are sold at exorbitant prices today to fulfill our wishful fantasies. The definition of expensive may vary from person to person, but there is no doubt that the food items included in this list are indeed ridiculously costly. Here is a list of such preposterously most expensive food in the world. Like and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get 1 week good luck for you. Try this, it really works. Our first entry is Manuka Honey. In many cultures, honey is described as a curing food. Honey industries have used this notion very well. The item on our list is honey that can cure literally everything. The syndicate has even given a scale to measure your Manuka honey, which is known as Unique Manuka Factor. And the rating has to be more than 10 to be a good bargain, which is $500 per kilogram. Our next entry is Matcha green tea powder. This special green tea powder, which is high in caffeine and antioxidants, has skyrocketed in popularity recently as matcha latte, shots, teas, and even desserts are becoming widely available in coffee shops. This tea is ground into a fine powder and is used in different food items, including ice cream. 1 kilogram of pure matcha can cost as much as $288. Original matcha is super expensive because of how time and labor intensive it is to produce, and it can only be made from the highest quality leaves. Our next entry is Landa extra virgin olive oil. With all the olive gardens and olive oil business depicted in mafia films originating in Italy, we would certainly expect to find the most expensive olive oil from Italy. To our surprise, it comes from the country of Greece in Mount Olympus. This one has a special flavor and extremely low acidic nature, which is why it costs $74 for 500 milliliters. Don't be so happy. This is the starting price. The higher the quality of processing, the higher the price. So, the prices can reach as high as $15,000 for the same quantity. Our next entry is Abalone. Although not everyone's favorite dish on this list, we have to say, have you ever seen a fancy party without a bunch of dishes full of mollusks that hardly anyone touches? This shell guy is the costliest one with a price tag of $500 for a kilogram of it. Abalone mollusks are getting harder and harder to find, and many governments have prohibited catching more than 10 of these guys a day. Perhaps, we have already seen these guys alive in parties and graciously moved past to the pastry section, who knows? Let's move to our next entry. Ethical foie gras. Foie gras has stirred gossip and unfriendly chatter throughout the world for many years. One peninsula farmer of Spain begs to differ. The dish gets a bad name since the geese are force-fed, and this farmer urges that he doesn't do such an evil thing in the name of food. For just 125 grams of his foie gras, your wallet will lose weight by $154. Do you love chocolates? Our next entry is chocolate that no one wants to gift to his girlfriend. Tuake chocolate. Who doesn't love chocolates? It's no surprise that we'll find at least one chocolate item on our list. Let's talk about Tuake chocolate in particular. The exotic name speaks for itself. It comes with pure cocoa of 73%, and the rest is made of booze. The chocolate formula is then fermented in tequila or Islay whiskey. One small bar of 50 g will cost a whopping $260. One small bar of 50 grams will cost a whopping $260. Our next entry is the Hong Pao tea. Earl Grey enthusiasts, hold your breath for the most delicate tea of the world. No, it's definitely not what you're drinking. In the Rocky Mountains of China, a smoldering, robustly sweet, and woody tea is found by the name of Da Hong Pao. Fresh oolong tea will cost you around $100. Like wine, this tea gets better with age, and only 20 grams of this tea will cost you nearly $20,000. Doing some simple math means 1 kilogram will cost around $1 million. Our next entry is Atlantic Bluefin Tuna. Tuna fish sandwich is probably the most common breakfast, lunch, or dinner meal for American as well as British millennials. But here's a kind of tuna that will make your jaw drop. Atlantic Bluefin Tuna will not cost you $5 like any regular tuna, its price will actually be around $1.8 million. Want a tuna sandwich with this meat? Atlantic Bluefin Tuna is extremely rare, it's likely to go extinct in a few years. Famous for the soft red delicacy of meat, the price can go as high as $3.1 million. This is one of my favorite entries on this list. Christmas Cake of Tokyo. We are tired of seeing sheiks moving around golden and diamond Porsche. Strangely, a Japanese chef is trying to get their attention. This chef spent nearly a year baking a cake with around 250 diamonds of 170 carats. The question that will come into your mind is, why did we bring up the sheiks? Well, this cake will cost you $1.7 million. We can't imagine anyone but sheiks spending that much money on a cake. Our next entry is $1 zillion Lobster Omelette. Lobster and omelette at $1 zillion? This may come as a shock, but this food is not exactly $1 zillion. The name is just a part of the publicity. Don't sigh in relief though, this dish, which consists of a simple omelette and Sevruga caviar spread on an entire lobster, will cost you $2,000. We created a video on bird nests and will know it, this work takes really hard work. Let's move on to our next entry, which depends on nest. Swallow's nest soup. Of all the crazy things you could eat, a bird's net will probably make it to the top 10 list for everyone. Eaten by Chinese people as a delicacy, the swallow's nest soup is one of the most expensive food in the world. These nests are almost completely made of saliva and nothing else. So, what makes this particular food so expensive? The price has more to do with the process of procurement rather than the food itself. Swallows' nests are usually found on high cliffs, and collecting them is quite a dangerous task as there is a risk of falling down. The thrill and danger add to the price of this soup, which comes at $3,000 per kilogram. Our next entry is moose cheese. You have surely seen the majestic moose grazing with its longhorns. The world's most valuable cheese comes from these animals, and only one destination of the world is responsible for bringing this delicacy to life. A house farm in Sweden. The pinkish touch of color in pure white and the superior taste are the reasons why it costs over $1,000 for just 1 kg. Our next entry is dry-cured Iberian ham. From the country of many European traditions, Spain, comes the costliest ham of the world, Jamon Iberico. To buy 1 kilogram of this ham of the peninsula, you have to spend around $392. The astounding price is because of the environment and the ways in which the pigs are raised in Spain. They are made in extremely little quantities to preserve the sanctity of the moose. Our next entry is Japanese Wagyu steaks. You have probably heard of Wagyu cows being carefully bred in Japan. For its exquisite taste and rarity, one standard unit of this meat can reach up to $450. The incredible smell and superior quality of the edible fat come from the delicate and cultural farming techniques of the Japanese farmers. Many other countries have been trying to recreate the Wagyu, but spectacularly failing to reach even near this quality. Our next entry is Yosemite black chicken. This special chicken happens to exist only in the island country Indonesia, and it's not traded to any other country in fear of disease. It's so hard to find this breed that a single bird will cost you $200 in the native country, and over $1,000 overseas. Yosemite chicken is slowly starting to be bred in Malaysia as well. White truffles. Also called the white diamond of the kitchen, white truffles or alba truffles are harvested in Italy during the short winter months. Truffles grow under the ground and range in various shapes and sizes. These irregularly shaped knobby little fungi are so sought after because of the mystery surrounding them. Truffles are preposterously expensive because of the special conditions under which they are grown and also because of their distinct taste. It's quite difficult to describe the nuances of the white truffle's taste, which is often depicted as garlicky or similar to shallots. But even that description falls short to describe the earthy taste with a trace of nutty flavor and woody undertones. In Europe, 1 kilogram of white truffles is priced at around $2,100. Our next entry is saffron. The queen of spices, saffron, is not only one of the most expensive foods, but also the most celebrated condiments in some parts of the world. Saffron most likely originated in Iran and was most widely known for its distinct fragrance. The wholesale and retail price of saffrons ranges from $500 to $5,000 per pound. The reason this seasoning is so expensive is that saffrons grow in a time frame of fewer than 7 days per year during the fall. It has to be collected and processed by hand. On top of that, to collect just 1 metric unit of saffron, it's necessary to sort through 300,000 flowers. It indeed is a precious beauty. Our next entry is white pearl albino caviar. Although caviar is an expensive food itself, this particular type of caviar beats all records. Caviar is an unfertilized fish egg and is eaten as a delicacy in many parts of the world. The white pearl albino caviar comes from the albino sturgeon. The albino sturgeon are found in deep, soft-bottomed areas of estuaries and are quite gigantic fishes that live within the Caspian Sea. The reason why the price of this particular type of caviar is so ridiculously high is that they are very hard to procure. 1 kilo of this caviar may be priced at $9,100. Our next entry is Kopi Luwak coffee. It's funny how a labor's drink is now a statement of luxury. But what is more ironic is how the most expensive coffee in the world actually has a pretty strange taste. Kopi Luwak coffee is extracted from the poop of elephants in Indonesia, the Philippines, and South Asian countries. They are produced in industrial quantities after they're extracted from the poop of elephants. And then, they go through a rigorous purifying process. Its price fluctuates between $250 to $1,200 per kilo. It's infamous for the terribly specialized process through which it's produced. Would you like to drink this expensive elephant poop coffee? Let us know in the comment box. Our next entry is Matsutake mushrooms. Matsutake mushrooms are very hard to find, so their value is estimated at $600 for 1 metric weight unit. Matsutake mushrooms can only be found in Japan. On top of that, they can jointly grow in other places of the continent. Yet, the range has diminished considerably for the harmful pests attacking the organism as it grows. Since we cannot grow Matsutake mushrooms artificially, there is a high likelihood they might disappear altogether within some time in the future. This is the end of our video. Do you ever want to buy any of this expensive food? Let us know your views on the comment box. You can watch some more amazing videos on our channel here.